Good morning, everyone. Those who are connected via Skype and all those who are connected via Facebook streaming. This is Taoshobuddha live. A moment of awareness is enough. A moment of awareness is enough. A single moment of awareness is enough. It is fulfillment. If you have lived the moment in awareness, then nothing else is needed. No scriptures, no austerities, no sadhana, nothing is needed. Your life will be transformed. I had mentioned it to you that Mahavir was the only one who has worked on this, and he said if you can be aware 48 minutes, that alone is enough for you to be enlightened. A single moment is enough moment of awareness. Your life will begin to transform. But you are creating problems. And people who try to be aware almost always create the problem. The first thing is awareness can only be of the moment. Indeed, awareness can only be of the moment. The very idea that it should always remain, it should become a permanent feature, is wrong, and that creates a problem. Just as after the day, night is necessary. After walking, you need to take a rest, you have to sit down. You have to go in this pair. Awareness can never be permanent state. Thoughts like these, because the mind always tries to make it a permanent. But that is where the problem comes in. And why be worried about the next moment? If you have lived this moment totally aware, then what happens the next moment? It evolves out of that awareness, whenever it comes. And when it evolves out of this shining moment full of awareness, it will have its beauty and fragrance. The very idea of permanence is part of greed. Greed is part of unconsciousness or unawareness. So unawareness is playing the trick and creating a problem. It is not out of awareness that the problem is coming. There is unawareness. Out of that greed, the moment there is darkness, something breathes in, something comes into you. Remember, it is not out of awareness that the problem is coming. Instead, the problem is emerging out of unawareness. This single moment of awareness is enough. Be aware in this moment how it could be possible. These moments come into your life on a day-to-day basis. A moment to moment they come. Simple things become precious and gold-like. In that moment, awareness means we are aware of you are the body, you are the mind, you are body-mind realm. What is going on in that moment? Are you really aware? Do you really know anything about your body and its needs? There is needs of the body, but we operate through the mind. And this we consider as a spirituality. You go somewhere, you are hungry. Someone asks you, can I get you something? Are you hungry? No, I'm not. You are being dishonest to the body and operating through the mind. This is unconsciousness. To be in the moment and aware means you are aware of everything that is happening with and without. And if you can be aware, honest, straightforward, then nothing else is needed. It gives you bliss, it gives you satiation, a kind of a fulfillment that never comes from anything else. This moment is enough. Be aware in this moment. This moment is total, and when next moment comes, you forget this, so be it. Be aware of your forgetfulness. Next moment comes in, you forget. Now this is a moment when there is forgetfulness. Be aware of this again. One has to be attentive even once inattentiveness. You are not using your mind that what you should be aware and what you should not be. Whatsoever comes, you forget something, you are inattentive or something else, but the thread of awareness remains like an undercurrent. You recall I had given you an example. A master and the disciple were living in an ashram. One day the master said that I want to go to a mountain for a deeper austerity. The disciple was happy and he said, yes, by tomorrow morning I will have everything in order for us to go. But the master said, you have to stay here. I will go alone. You will go alone and I will have to stay here, master? Yes, because this is an ashram, is a public place where anyone can come in any time And when someone comes in, there has to be someone to service that person. So you have to be there. So the master told the disciple, if you want to ask me anything, you can ask, because from tomorrow morning, for 3 days, I will be in silence, and after that silence, I will go on my journey to that solitary mountain. In the morning, when the master went into silence, the disciple thought, if someone comes and asks a question, what should I tell him? So he goes to the master and asks, suppose somebody comes in and asks a question, what should I give him as an answer? The master pointed out towards a notebook and a pen. He brought it. On that, master wrote awareness. He took the book, he read it, closed the book and put aside. After some time he thought, what is awareness? Awareness alone? There must be something before it and something after it. So he goes to the master again. Master, it looks like you missed something. There has to be something before awareness and something after that. Again the master pointed out towards the book, and he got the book. Again he wrote a word before awareness, awareness, awareness. He thought, maybe that is strange. Then third time when he read it and he found that still there is something missing. Maybe awareness is the key or something like that. But it is written only awareness. So he again goes to the master. Master, seems that you missed something. There has to be something after awareness. Again he asked for the book and the pen, and he wrote awareness, awareness, awareness. 3 times awareness. The disciple again got confused and wanted to know how to understand this. Again he goes to the master, and this time master he put awareness plus awareness between the first 2 words, awareness plus awareness. And then between these 2 and the last one, he put an equal sign. Awareness plus awareness equal to awareness. Awareness alone is enough. Awareness is not content. Awareness means whatsoever is happening. A dog barks, a call bell rings, a knock at the door, birds chirping, car is passing on the street, a sound comes in, suddenly a noise. All this is happening, nothing is excluded, everything is included. You are aware of the multiplicity of the things happening in this moment. Awareness is not concentration, it is being aware of all that is happening in that moment. It gives you a different kind of richness. Therefore, the moment is enough. Be aware in this moment. The very moment is total. When you are aware, you are aware. When there is unattentiveness, you are aware of that too. There are moments when you are aware. In those moments, you are aware of your awareness. It is not a simple awareness, complex. You are aware of your awareness. And when the moments of unawareness comes, you are aware. But awareness continues as the substratum, as the background, like the breathing. You do so many things on a day-to-day basis. Your breathing continues as a non-voluntary function. Your heartbeat continues. If you have to remember to breathe, then you may miss a heartbeat or two. It is a non-voluntary function, whereas that's why it cannot transform you. But the moment you make breathing a voluntary function, you are aware of it. It becomes a way of transformation. So awareness has to come as an effort. It's not that it is an involuntary function. You have to be voluntarily available to it. And then it begins to make the difference. So whatsoever happens does not matter. You are simply aware, and yet you are choiceless. Sometimes you forget and nothing can be done. There is no point in crying over this. That which is gone forever. If the moment has passed and you were not aware, and later on you become alert that this moment has gone and you were not aware, there is no point in wasting time behind it. Because another moment is passing by. Just be aware of it. So there is no need for asking for permanence. You will never get two moments together. Moment always comes solitary. One person never gets two moments together. You always get one moment, and when that is gone, another is provided to you. Like a screen, one shot comes in, because a screen has a space that can occupy only a certain size of the shot. When that is gone, another comes in front of you. Whatsoever time will be coming in front of you, your torch of awareness will be there. You have to make sure. Asking for permanent awareness is as if you are going for a long journey of 1,000 miles. You have a small torch and you want to know how this small torch can guide you along this long journey of 1,000 miles. you are completing the journey in steps, one step at a time. And that torchlight is powerful enough to give you light to complete one step. When one step is completed, you reach. It is like a wall you are constructing. The wall may be of a certain height and a certain length, but the block can only be put one block at a time. Like building a block, building a wall, placing the blocks one by one. You cannot put two blocks simultaneously. You can put only one block when that block is fixed and your whole attention is on fixing that block properly. Once that is done, you follow a pattern. You see the person who is building the wall, the mason. He follows a pattern. He goes into the rows. He does not go in columns. He goes in the row. And when one row is completed of a certain distance, he covers a certain distance. One row is completed. He starts with the second row, and that too, one by one the blocks are placed. So awareness is like building a wall where blocks are used, because without the blocks, the wall is sum total of all the blocks arranged in order, and that gives you. This is the effect of an act that you are performing. The act is placing the blocks one by one, moment to moment. And as an outcome of that, something happens to you. That can be permanent. But the moment cannot be. You can only place one block at a time when all the required amount of blocks are placed. You attain to the height and you cover the whole width that you needed to cover. That is the horizontal and the height. When a required amount of columns and the rows are done, the height and the width, the wall is completed. It is the outcome of arranging the blocks one by one. When you begin to be aware of a moment and try to live that moment, then one moment is followed by another, and so on and so forth. The resultant of that is a life of transformation. Life is transformed, life of bliss, life of harmony and inner oneness. Then you realize we are all born out of one cosmic womb. Born out of one cosmic womb. There is only one soul. There is only one light. Out of that, everything comes into existence. Sufis, Muslims say that in the beginning when God created the body, He put the light into it. Did He have a different lights to put into different individuals? The light means the original source that illumines everything. And that is known as Ru. We are born out of one cosmic womb. We have a common soul. There is a power within that knows beyond our knowings. If you understand this, life moves in a different direction. And if you do not understand this, then who are we to you? We meet along the life's road sometimes. We say hello and hi and we go on our ways. There is an art to establish a relationship. To establish a relationship, there is an art. You have to be articulate to establish that. And to maintain that is austerity, is sadhana. To maintain that relationship is austerity, is sadhana. So this moment is enough. The light, you can only take one step at a time. And when the person who is building the wall, when he starts doing the first row of the blocks, he does not need any elevation, and so as he goes on the height, he needs some elevation to place the blocks and places concrete mixture so that he does not have to bend down too much. This is here when you are moving to the second step, you make the arrangements accordingly. A journey of 1,000 miles begins in a single step. One moment is enough for your awareness. Then when next moment comes, be aware again. Your awareness is there. Another moment, as the awareness comes, moment after moment, these gets lighted. There is no need to worry about anything. Life is momentary. Let awareness be there. And you make sure that you do not miss this moment. Just note with full awareness. And if you miss the moment, be aware that you have missed it. You are listening to the music. Music, the note is one thing. And along with that note, you do not become aware of the gap between the notes. You have not learned the art of enjoying the music. After one note is played, there is a gap. And it is this gap that makes the note significant. There are two fingers, and between the fingers there is a gap. Our focus remains on that which we can see. The fingers, we can see it is tangible, but the gap is not. The gap is formed because of the two notes. When the two notes are played, the distance between the two is important. Mechanically, when we are taught music, we are asked to remember the word khali means empty. One note is played and after that there is an emptiness. There is a gap. And gap makes this more prominent and gives it a depth. By and by, if that happens, you will miss less of those gaps. Just take a simple note. If you miss it, observe it and be finished. Go ahead. By these observations, more and more awareness will be happening to you. But when I say more and more awareness will be happening, more and more moments will be coming that you are aware, but there will not be anything like a permanence, because the more you have, I am saying more because more has a depth. Awareness is going to remain of the moment alone. It can be shallow, it can be deep. That is a totally a different dimension. It will become more and more deep, deeper and deeper. It will become so deep one day that whatsoever comes in front of you is lighted well. But do not think in terms of permanence, because awareness is only of this moment, and if you are aware in this moment, that alone is enough, and that ultimately becomes eternal. Eternal means that which is never born, never dies. Awareness remains eternal, is never born, never dies. It is always there. Where you start, you are starting from where you stand up, and that is your beginning. But it has been there before. The road has been there always. Now you have stepped out of your house, and as you walk, you create your path. You create your journey, and that will determine your speed, your understanding, your vehicle that you are going in will determine the time that you will take to reach your destination. But the road was always there. The awareness was always there. You have now begun the journey. You have now become aware of it. Awareness is eternal, not permanent. If something is fleeting, we become aware of it. We become worried about it. Then we think, what is the point in making so much of effort? And it is gone again, gone again. Simply drop that worry. Simply drop the worry. Indeed, awareness is the key word and the key question. If you can open it, you have found the solution to all your problems. You do not need to come to me or do not need to go into the scriptures to find the answer. The scripture is embedded in you. The moment God created you, put the light into you, the entire scripture, the graph of your life has been, the program has been installed into you. You have to learn to use that program as efficiently as possible. And the moment you seek the answer within, you will find it. The only purpose of the Master is to connect you to that software which has been installed into you and teach you how to use it efficiently. That alone is enough. Once you have understood this, there is no need for anything else. No scripture, no austerity. This very moment is enough, and the silence that this moment creates, the silence that this moment creates is enough unto itself. The purpose, when you read the scriptures, you are going into the words and you become unaware of the gap between the words. You have to read the words to create the wordless. The space between the words is wordless, and the word is matter. Matter and the non-matter go together. The word and wordless go together. Emphasis moves from word to wordless. And the moment you start moving with the wordless, everything else becomes irrelevant. Everything means all scriptures, music, whatsoever it is that has a slight taste of the finite is meaningless for you. Only this much for this morning, until next session when we meet again. Take care and do have a pleasant day.